A good album is a hard thing to make. You need to write a bunch of good songs up for one. Got that? Now you need a good band. To even record it, you need some decent sound engineers. Then you need to mix it, master it, and none of them can be done without money from the publisher, who can screw things up at any point. My point is that making an album isn't a trivial task. However, there are plenty of good ones out there. Heck, there's even plenty of great ones out there. But there are even quite a few excellent albums out there. However, there's only one album so far that I have found that is a 10 out of 10 perfect. What is that album, you may ask? Well, Wish You Were Here is, in my opinion, the perfect album, and my personal favorite as well. But what makes it so incredible? Find out in today's video. This is a decent length album at 44 minutes. Despite the runtime though, the album only contains 5 total tracks. Only 5! That means that some songs are fairly long. It might be one of the slowest paced albums in the world too, at least in my opinion. But that's not a bad thing, and this album has some excellent songs, and that is kicked off with Shine On You Crazy Diamond. We start off with a droning synthesizer intro, with a shooting star sound effect in the background. It is a very, very, very slow intro that goes on for several minutes, but it is still kind of interesting. A guitar then joins, plucking a few strings while the synth still drones in the background. We then get a psychedelic, but very empty sounding and echoey theme. It gets faster and faster until the drums finally kick in, along with the bass. I honestly kind of felt like this was kind of a very big moment in the song for some reason. I can't exactly put my finger on it though. We then get some really slow but really great guitar solos, and also a synthesizer solo, until the lyrics finally start 8 minutes in. And man, it's actually pretty nice sounding. It was meant as a send-off to Syd Barrett, who left 7 years prior due to declining mental health and heavy drug usage. We also get a really good sax solo as well as the finale. It gets slightly faster at that point, but it's not that fast still. While this song takes a while to get going, I feel like this song works amazingly. It's a perfect opening track for this album. The next track, Welcome to the Machine, is probably the weakest track on this album, but I still get a kick out of it. It's also quite slow, but has a lot of really cool synthesizer sound effects that help hold my interest. While it sounds a bit off, I think it works in the context of the song. It also probably helps that apparently it's in a minor key, making it sound a bit creepier in my opinion. To my knowledge, it's about the band joining a record label, basically becoming part of the machine designed to print money. And I feel like the lyrics describe the feeling of dread of selling your soul to the record label. It feels ominous, and I do like that. The song ends fairly abruptly, leading into the sound effects of a party or bar. I'm not sure which, but that leads into the next song. Have a Cigar is a great song, and it has some of the most cynical lyrics I've heard. I think it's supposed to be a commentary on the record industry again, with the person singing being a record producer. The vocals really help the tone of the song. The singer sounds like he's almost a hyena, which fits the tone of the song quite well. And the lyrics are great too, showing perfectly how the record producer doesn't give a crap about the band at all, only wanting it to be a money printer, while holding himself in the highest regard. And I feel like the melodies also complement this lyrics, with it feeling, in the best way I can describe it, is a futuristic dive bar. Not a place you would want to meet someone, you know. And the guitar solo is also really enjoyable as well, but then, all of a sudden, it goes quiet and the title song begins. Wish You Were Here is one of Pink Floyd's most iconic tracks. It's one of the most accessible ones, being a fairly relaxed song, and not being very complicated, and it also has relatable lyrics as well. This is a song that, if played at a concert, you would probably get out your lighter or phone and sway it with the rest of the audience. It's a great song. It just sounds beautiful. I love the way in the intro, the two guitars almost sound like they're talking to each other, and the chorus is absolutely iconic as well, and it's really nice sounding too. Once again, I think it's something anyone can relate to. The song kind of feels like a phone call to an old friend who you miss dearly. And it's nice while the phone call is on, but it ends, making you kind of feel empty. Just how, like, the song slowly fades into nothing. And then we have the final part of the album, Shine On You Crazy Diamond Parts 6 through 9. It begins with a synth-like intro in the first half, but this one is considerably faster, and we get to the lyrics 3 minutes quicker as well. And the lyrical part is just as good as the one in the first half of the song, but then again it is pretty similar. And then we get to a groovy synth, kind of futuristic jazz-sounding part. Well, I'm not 100% sure if it's jazz, but I really like it anyway. But I think I like the final part of the song even more, where it goes back to the really slow synth. It sounds really nice, and then at the very end there's a key change as the song slowly fades out. While it isn't necessarily a flashy finale, it is very fitting for the feeling of the album, slowly burning up. So it works really well. I really love this album, if you couldn't already tell. In fact, I think I can call it my favorite, and probably the best I've heard so far. Yes, it takes forever to get going, but all the songs are really enjoyable, at least to me. I like how it tells a story in a way. It's a really strong album, so I have to give it a 10 out of 10. I know I give a lot of really high ratings out, and trust me, I'm trying to improve that, but this is pretty much a perfect album to me. It's 50 years old at the time of writing this, but it remains a classic, and I think it will remain a classic for a very long time. Anyways, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing. Comment your favorite Pink Floyd album down below. Thank you for watching.